Hey, it's Django from Calvander Sound. Today we're going to keep going with our fingerstyle lesson on the great Big Star and their song 13. And specifically, we're going to move beyond the thumb. So in the first part of this lesson, which is an earlier video on my channel if you want to check it out, I think it's part 2, and this is part 3 of the fingerstyle lessons, we talked just about using your thumb as a great way to make sure that your fingerstyle, your finger picking is consistent and that the time is very solid, because that's the most important thing when it comes to actually all guitar playing, but including fingerstyle. So we went through just a quick review at the beginning of the song where basically all the way up through the chorus. You can get a transcription of the thumb pattern for this song at calvandersound.com, and also there's a free audio file so you can kind of hear just the thumb part by itself and practice along. So I'm assuming that you've done that and that you're comfortable with it, and we're just going to play through it one time with just the thumb, and then we're going to add some fingers. So here's the thumb part. So that's just the thumb part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the finger patterns that go along with this. The reason we didn't start with everything together is that if you throw in the fingers too early, it's very easy to have an inconsistent thumb pattern, and that's just not going to work for having a good solid finger picking style. So here's the first part where it's going back and forth between the G and the C. Now, just with the way that your thumb is assigned to certain strings and it's never going to stray from those strings as long as it's on that chord, the fingers are also like that. So we're just using our first 2 fingers, and in this case, your first finger is going to be on the G string, and your second finger is on the B string, and basically they're just kind of stationed there for when they're needed. That way they're not going to get confused about which strings they're hitting and everything like that. And in fact, it's really, really important that your fingers never play a string that's also played by the thumb during that chord. So if you're on the G, your thumb is covering the low 3 strings, the E, A, and D strings. So your first finger should never hit the D string during that time. So kind of keeping everybody in their lane is really helpful for fingerstyle. So here is the pattern, and there's also a transcription for this with the fingers and the thumb at calvandersound.com. So it goes like this. So it's thumb first, thumb second. Now the thumbs are just doing their patterns, but I'm just kind of letting you know what happens in order when you're playing your thumb pattern. So it's thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb first. So notice that that second finger just rings once in this pattern from the G to the C, but it hangs out there. It's not clipped off, so it kind of runs over the other ones. And you can always do slight variations on this. This is not the only way to play this song, but this is just the way that I like to play it. So now we're going to go into that next section where it has the where it's going the A minor and E minor kind of back and forth. So it's going to go thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, and then thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second. So that's the same. Thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second, and then thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second, thumb first, thumb second. So it's really just pretty consistently thumb first, thumb second on most of it. And notice that on that A minor, when it's hanging on the A minor, after the quick changes from the A minor to E minor and A minor again, you'll put down your pinky to on the D there, and what that will do, it'll make it an A sus for a second. And that chord will come back a few times. That's kind of a specific chord to this song. That's a big part of the sound. So, but the thing about it is, what's happening there, where you can put down your pinky or not, it doesn't change at all what's happening with your fingers. And your fingers are very strictly kind of assigned to the strings where they are going to be playing. And if you do that, there's a lot less chance of collisions. So. Still thumb first, thumb second. And so this is a little trickier because when we go to the D, remember our thumb, if our thumb is playing on a string during a chord, the fingers are not going to touch that string. So that means the thumb is on the D string, G string, and A string. So that means our fingers have no choice but to be on the B and high E. So. But the problem is, we're not really playing that high E string. So really what we're going to do is we're going to jettison the second finger and just use the thumb and first finger. Until we can get back to the A. So it's... and then A minor. That D part will take a little getting used to, because basically you're going to be shifting your first finger over to the B string, and the second finger is just going to lie fallow for a little bit, and just while you concentrate on the bass. Just like that. So it's thumb first, thumb first, thumb first, thumb first, thumb first, thumb first, as you're walking down. And then when you get to the A minor, your first and second come back to their strings, the G string and the B string. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in comments below. Please do subscribe to my channel, and you can always get transcriptions and other materials that go along with these lessons at calvandersound.com. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.